Hi, everybody. Coming up on 11 o'clock on this beautiful Thursday. I hope you're having a great day so far. If you can, give me a thumbs up. Let me know this connection's coming through loud and clear. And let me know where you're watching from right now. Anywhere in the Carolinas, the Southeast, wherever you're watching from in the country right now, let me know what you're up to and how your day's going. It's a beautiful week. We continue with the dry weather for many, but changes are brewing. If you do not subscribe to this channel already, please consider going ahead and doing so. Provide you with early warnings of severe weather, reliable forecast you can count on, and a direct approach you won't find anywhere else. And in today's forecast podcast, we are talking about the major cool down. Yes, it's been so hot this week that we've had temperatures trending 10, 15, 20 degrees above where we should be for this time of the year. But we are going to see some changes. Notice the reds are above normal temperatures. Look at this. We switched from red to these darker greens into the whites. That's some 15 to 20 degrees below normal. This comes our way Saturday, Sunday, Monday of next week, and we're talking about the first widespread frost, widespread freeze across the area. And this will really accelerate those leaves, which I'll cover here in just a few minutes. But yeah, here we go. This lingers through about early next week. Then look what starts to show up in the Carolinas toward Florida. We've got a warm up coming, and like we mentioned, October overall looks to be very, very warm with a couple of cool downs. Who's suffering from allergies in the house right now? It has been a bad allergy season, especially with as dry as it has been. Normally you get some rain comes through, kind of suppresses that ragweed, but not lately. It has just been very, very bad as far as allergies are concerned, and we're not going to see that be alleviated until we get that first killing frost or freeze to really change what's going on. Here it is. This is a closer look at the current high-resolution temperature. Look at the Rockies. I mean, we're getting snowpack in, and that's important back through Canada for you winter lovers. Hey, talked about the epic winter that we're expecting here. It's really starting to come to fruition with that snowpack in Canada being the first step. But here's our cold front. Here's our warm weather across the East Coast. It's a coming. Closer look at that. Can you tell where the front is? Those of you that love meteorology, it is really a stark difference here. John Sesrich used to always talk about Kansas and growing up in Kansas and how you'd go from sunny and t-shirt weather going to school to by the evening needing a snow shovel. I mean, you'd go from one extreme to the other, 80 to 30 and snow. And that's what's happening right now back toward the Rockies. You really separate Texas here where it's 83 toward the coast, and up toward northern Texas, it's in the 40s. That cold front's there, and it's going to be marching south. With that stark contrast always comes a severe weather risk. There is a medium to high risk of severe weather today for parts of Texas, and unfortunately that does include the risk for isolated tornadoes that goes from Oklahoma up through Kansas. And John Sesrich should talk about that too, how you go from tornadoes to snow. And unfortunately that's probably the case for some here, is you're going to go from a severe threat today to a severe threat tomorrow as that cold front's marching east. And thankfully for us in the Carolinas, it does not look to be severe as this cold front comes through. There it is. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen, that's the cold front coming in. It's got a lot more energy back to the west, a lot more moisture. As it moves quickly, it doesn't have a chance to send a lot of that rain east. So notice how the energies dive into the north, the lingering moisture to the south is kind of withering away to where this thing doesn't have a lot of rain with it at all. And by the time it arrives in the Carolinas tomorrow, this would be Friday, you're waking up, maybe a few clouds, but as the day goes on, this thing's not got a lot of moisture to work with. I think most of us are just going to see a wind shift. Speaking of wind, it is going to get breezy. Let's take a closer look at the wind speeds as this comes through. Anytime you have a weather pattern change like we are going to see, let me switch that to wind, not knots. Let's see, wind gusts miles per hour. There we go. Here we go into this weekend. Those winds shift to the north, and it gets pretty breezy, 20, 30 mile per hour winds Friday night into Saturday, especially there in the mountains, and those winds will be bringing in the changes. As far as rain is concerned, yeah, quite a bit of rain back through Texas and Louisiana. That's welcomed. That's why we've said there might, in fact, be some relief as far as the drought is concerned and the wildfire concerns in Louisiana. You're smelling smoke in New Orleans, surrounding areas. that's going to be a relief as we see at least a half an inch to an inch of rain coming there. But that's it. Folks, where I'm at in Greenville, we've had a whopping 3/4 of an inch of rain dating back to September 1st. So a month of hardly any rainfall, and it doesn't look like that's going to change. Let's map out those temperatures day by day. So tomorrow's high, Friday, we're talking mid to upper 80s in Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas. It's going to be hot. But Friday night into Saturday, notice those blues are marching east. In fact, by Saturday afternoon, I'll pause it here at the warmest part of the day. Florida, you're still hot. It's coming. It's coming your way. But for the Carolinas, from Charleston, you're at 80 to 72 in Greenville to look at this 58 in Asheville and Hendersonville. Significantly cooler air coming in throughout the day on Saturday. By the time you get to the evening hours, you're going to feel it. Look at this. By 7, 8 o'clock. And I tell you, it's like one of those situations where you go into dinner and you're in short sleeves. It may be a little bit comfortable and cool, but when you step out from dinner, it's going to be cold. I mean, you'll want a jacket. 50s in the upstate, 40s in the mountains, and look at all these 30s already showing up toward the Appalachian Mountains. It's going to be a frosty, if not freezing night by the time we wake up Sunday morning. 36 in Asheville, 45 in Greenville, 44 or so in Charlotte, 45 or so in Atlanta. But look at all these 30s. This will be the first freeze for the mountains, a killing freeze. That'll say goodbye to the ragweeds, goodbye to the mosquitoes for a season. But certainly a frost outside of those areas that we see the freeze, okay? And it doesn't stop there. Look at Sunday's high temperature. 68 in Greenville, 73 in Charleston. Orlando, 77. Hallelujah. I mean, wow, finally some relief. The only warm spot you'll find is towards southern Florida, where it's going to be in the 90-degree range in Miami toward the Keys, okay? But the rest of us are feeling like November with 50s and 60s for highs. That's really going to accelerate these fall temperatures, or the fall colors, I should say. Mapping it out for Monday morning, this could be the coolest morning for some. Again, another freeze for some, another frost for others in the mountains. If you don't get it Sunday morning, you'll likely get it on Monday morning as we wake up to another cool day. How about the snowpack? Yeah, getting it started here toward the Rockies, and it's going to continue to be accelerating as we move throughout the next couple of days. How about the temperature as we move forward here? As we look at the temperature outlook, we've got this dip over us over the next week or so. And then as we look ahead, we're going to see things begin to get a little bit warmer toward next week, into the end of the week. And here we are going into the latter half of the month where our type of oscillations are starting to tell us that we're looking at above average temperatures trying to come our way. Let me show you the fall colors because it's starting to really get accentuated here. And as we move forward here, October 4th is where we're at, starting to see some spotty color already. Let me see if I can shrink this down just a bit. There we go. Already starting to see that fall color here across the Western Carolinas, but let's map this out a little bit more. Look at how the color changes. We're going to see peak color here toward Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. Not good timing when you have a post-tropical or extratropical system coming in, and that looks to be the case as we head into this upcoming weekend, as Maine's going to be hit with another tropical or subtropical system, and that's right at peak fall colors, tourist season. So not great for Saturday night into Sunday, but beautiful colors nonetheless. Here we are into New York, Pennsylvania, into the Carolinas, spotty colors starting to show up. And then let's go out a week. So fall for Greenville time next week. We've got color all across the upstate and starting to really pop in Greenville, Spartanburg, but approaching peak color in Hendersonville, Asheville, up through Boone. It's really going to be nice this upcoming week. So whether you're heading to Oktoberfest in downtown Greenville this Friday at Noma Square, it's really always a great time there. It's going to feel fantastic Friday, especially Saturday. But is it going to continue? Well, it looks like we kind of level out, at least get closer to normal as far as temperatures are concerned into next week. But how about the third week of October? Near normal. So that means around 77 or so in the Carolinas, above normal temperatures for the rest of the United States. And then week 3, this gets us into Halloween week. Above average temperatures favored for Florida. Equal chances of being warm or cold in the rest of the middle part of the country right in here. And as far as that's concerned, it looks like we're really going to see temperatures at least level out. I don't see any big swings one way or the other. If this were a big positive oscillation, I'd say probably a favored heat dome setting up across the East Coast. And heat domes look a little bit different when you're talking about October versus August. But nonetheless, it looks like we're pretty even. So near normal temperatures will be favored as we move forward. So that's what I've got for you folks today. Hope you have a great rest of your day. A lot going down this next week with Oktoberfest at Noma Square. Then you're getting geared up right for Fall for Greenville. One of the best times of the year, honestly. And of course, apple picking season in full swing in the mountains. Great weather to do that. Great weather to go check out the leaves as we're approaching peak season within the next 10 days in areas like Boone, stretching to Asheville, getting close to it in Hendersonville and Asheville within the next 10 days. Probably looking at that third weekend of October for the peak in areas like Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Hendersonville, and then starting to spread into the upstate thereafter as we go through the first week of November. So folks, I hope you have a great rest of your day.